Good morning, y'all. Good morning. How y'all doing? So this morning, while I was doing my routine, I was listening to Bishop T.D. Jakes, and he referred to a common phrase that's being used on a regular basis nowadays. He said, keeping it 100, okay? He started referencing to the fact that, in today's time, you know what I mean, that young people like to, throw around that phrase, keeping it 100, and then I'm thinking to myself, they be saying, keeping it a buck, and he said, being for real, can't nobody really keep it 100. He say, ain't nobody really keeping it 100. He said, you might be keeping it about 90, but you ain't keeping it 100, okay? And he said, and really, if we want to be for real about it, you can't really keep it 100. So that's what instantly, start brewing in my mind. Y'all know right then, I got my word, okay? Because I said to myself, he right. Being for real, you really can only keep it about 90, all right? You really can only keep it about 90 because if you was to actually really keep it 100, he was like, you will get yourself in a lot of trouble. You will get yourself in a lot of trouble. Now, mind you, okay, he was not saying, and I am not saying, to be around here telling a bunch of half-truths. We're not saying that. It's called, I like to say it's called having tact. It's called having tact. You cannot in no way, shape, or form think for 1 second that at all times, because basically to me, when they making saying the phrase keep it 100, they saying tell the truth about everything. You can't do that. You cannot tell somebody, you cannot be out here in the world telling people the truth about every single thing. Example, you go to work. You go to work and you going to decide with your boss today, I'm about to keep it 100. I'm about to keep it 100 with this fool because being for real, he's an idiot. So you going to go in there today and you going to let him know, you know what, I don't even understand how you even ended up with this job because really for real though, you really bought a fool. You really a dummy. I mean, you don't even know a tenth of the things that I know. If it wasn't for me being in here doing all of the stuff that I was doing, you wouldn't even have this job. You wouldn't even be able to look the way you look. You know what I'm saying? You shining because of me, okay? You stupid. For real, you stupid. You'll get fired. You'll get fired. But you kept it 100, though. You kept it 100, but you going to get fired. I'm telling you. Like he said, you really can keep it. You only can really keep it about 90, okay? In your relationship, you got a husband. You got a wife. You going to keep it 100 with your wife. This is what you going to do. You going to tell your wife that she really should have started losing weight about 100 pounds ago? I want to see how that's going to work out for you. You can't keep it 100 on that. Like he said, you might be able to keep it about 90. Figure out a nice little easy little way to wiggle it on in there. That, baby, let's start doing a workout routine together. Let's start walking. Let's start walking every day. We can go out in there to get us some fresh air or whatever. But you ain't going to sit up and keep it 100 and tell your wife that she should have been losing weight about 100 pounds ago. Okay? You're not going to tell your wife that McDonald's or whoever it is that she love to go to, Tim Hortons or whoever, shouldn't even be knowing who she is, okay? They shouldn't even be getting a penny of her money, okay? Hot and ready, okay? Hot and no. That's what you'll be telling her. But you can't, because you can't keep it 100. Again, like he said, you can keep it about 90, but you cannot keep it 100, all right? We're going to say you're going to keep it 100 with your kids. You going to keep it 100 with your kids. You got 3, 4 kids, okay? We're going to say you got 3. 2 of them they whizzes. When I say them kids are so smart, those kids are whizzes. But that other one, you got to sit down with that one every day for an extra hour or 2. And that hour or 2 is taking up extra time in your life when you are already working 8 or 10 hours a day. You tired. I don't feel like keep coming in here, sitting and going over the same thing over and over and over and over and over again with you. So I'm going to tell you that you dumb. Why are you so dang on dumb? Why are you so stupid? Because you keeping it 100, right? This your child. But you going to keep it 100 with your child and you going to let your child know. I think you dumb because you don't seem to catch on like your brother and sister. I don't see what your problem is. You must have got that from your daddy's side. Okay? You must have got that from your daddy's side. Okay? So you going to keep it 100. And now you going to have a child that's going to grow up that's going to have low self-esteem. okay? Because you constantly kept calling them dumb all the time. You can keep it about 90, okay? I'm going to give you permission. And I'm going to go a little further than Bishop Jakes. You might even be able to keep it about 95. But you cannot keep it 100, okay?